let's go into the Washington Wizards more because they signed Bradley Beal to the 2-year extension. He is not eligible to be traded this year. Otherwise, that would be the only trade discussion anyone is having for the next 6 weeks.
Right.
Instead, a surprising guy who came kind of out of nowhere is Davis Bertans.
Well, did he, though? Did he come out of nowhere? I know that he has surprised people to the extent that he surprised people, but, I mean, he was always a good player.
He was always a good shooter. Was he this high volume of a shooter?
No.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he shot 42.9% from 3 last year on 4.4 attempts per game. So, like, to your point, he's been a great shooter for a while. Career 41.4%. This year, he is shooting 44.7% on 8.7 3-point attempts per game.
Yeah. And look, this is a dude who's 6'10", 6'9", 6'10", whatever.
Yeah.
Like, who dribbles the ball up the court
Right.
and will gun in the face of a defender.
Yeah. Right.
From
like
28 feet.
This is not only catch and shoot. This is like pull-up jump shots in transition. Like, it's just something you expect to see from, a Steph Curry, a Dame Lillard, a Trae Young. It's even Luka. This is the kind of thing that you would, they are known for. This is what Davis Bertans is doing too. I'm trying to look up, because I wrote about him recently at the Basketball Writers, and kind of like what about their dilemma, the Wizards' dilemma of whether or not to trade him. And here we go. So this is shot distance of at least 27 feet this year. Harden is number 1 with 52. These are made field goals.
Yeah.
Lillard is second with 40. Trae Young is third with 38. Davis Bertans is fourth in the NBA with 27 feet or further. 36 of 74 from that range.
You know what his average shot distance is? 22.2 feet.
It's amazing. God. Yeah.
Okay, so let's be real about this. There is a question of whether this is sustainable to some extent.
Yep.
I don't think he's not going to crab out in that sense. Like, he's a very, very good shooter. I don't think even if he goes back a little bit, it declines just a little bit. I don't think he's going to be like a sub 40% shooter from downtown. I don't think he's going to be an inefficient shooter at any point. But now comes like the interesting part of this discussion as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's 27.
Yep.
He's an expiring contract.
Yep.
Next year, because of the year that he's having right now, he is going to command, at the very least, double up the money.
Right. He's on a $7 million expiring contract right now.
Correct.
So very easy to match salary. Like, we talked a lot about guys like Kevin Love and even Danilo Gallinari, who we'll hit later as well. Like, it's harder to match salaries for 20, 25, $30 million players. $7 million is easy.
Right. It is. So what the Wizards should do here is basically take a meeting, and they should figure out, what are we willing to spend? What type of contract through back channeling are we hearing that he is interested in? What kind of competitors are out there? That's easy. Everyone.
Right. Every contender.
And then they should gauge the trade market just to hear what's out there. Because if this is a team that's going to pivot at some point. I can't imagine they're going to ultimately hang on to Bradley Beal. I just can't. Mm-hmm. They're not there. If someone out there has a pretty good rookie, or a guy on a rookie contract, who's willing to move him for Bertans, so that team can be more competitive right now, and that rookie shows considerable potential, I'm probably going to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like, if I'm the Wizards, I'm not looking for another prime player, because what's the point?
Right. No, absolutely. I think
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're looking for someone in the same age range as Thomas Bryant, Rui Hachimura, Troy Brown, your favorite player in the NBA. Like, you're looking
He's
for
good. Give him time.
Yeah, I know. I'm not giving up on him. Even Mo Wagner. You're looking for guys in that age range rather than Yeah, I mean, winning now doesn't matter. You're what, 8-19? Like
Yeah.
it's not happening this year. John Wall will come back next year. You're still like this team just doesn't have a ceiling with those two guys. Unfortunately, it sucks. But like, while the odds of him being as good as he was prior to all these injuries, it's just very unlikely. So I'm with you. At some point, in the next year or two, you would think Beal is probably legit up for grabs at this point. But he might just be having fun. This like their defense is terrible, but
they're
their
leaning
offense is
into
great.
the all offense thing.
Yeah, and I mean, they're averaging 117.7 points a game. I'm gonna guess third highest in the league. It looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're making it fun. Like, if you're going to be on a crappy team, like, just at least let Bradley Beal go gun, get his all-NBA appearance. That's fine. But, yeah, Bertans, I think, is, like, he's probably the most interesting guy for me at the trade deadline.
And I think I have a trade.
Oh, okay. Well, I just think every single contender is going to want to go for him. I said this on Twitter recently. Like, what he is at the trade deadline is going to be what Dwayne Dedmon was during free agency, where like every team's fan base thinks they're being really savvy because they're like, hey, this Dwayne Dedmon guy, he's really good. We're going to sign him with the mid-level exception. And now it's like, hey, this Davis Bertans guy, have you seen what he's doing this year? I bet no one's watching the Wizards. It's like, no, everyone knows what Davis Bertans is doing. Like, you're not going to sneak in and like steal Davis Bertans with a second-round pick. He's getting a first, I think.
Yeah. So the trade that I have right here, and really it depends on the situation, because actually the team that I have him to, I also have on the sellers list. But this is a team that can pivot. This is a team where you don't really know whether they're buying or selling. Mm-hmm. It's the Detroit Pistons.
Interesting. Okay.
Thon Maker and the big piece, Sekou Doumbouya.
Okay.
It adds up.
Yeah.
It's just shy of $7 million, but with the 125% rule, it's fine.
Yeah,
and like that's a piece I would probably do if I'm the Wizards, because you're getting like Doumbouya.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on whether they value. Do they want a prospect who they've at least been able to see in some NBA action, even though in Doumbouya's case it is very limited NBA action, or do they want the mystery box like?
Don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they have Giannis already, so like it's the need for,
right.
The need for Doumbouya may not be there, but
Giannis 2.0.
Giannis 2.0, yeah, that's never getting old.
No.
I don't know, but I mean, in terms of value, I wouldn't hate that.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, like more so that it should be contenders that goes after Bertans. But I think just teams that are in win now mode, or with the Pistons' potential win now mode, even though they shouldn't be, but we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I know he is a popular target on Sixers Twitter, and he would give that team a lot of what they need. Unfortunately, I think it probably takes Mike Scott, which would kill a large portion of the fan base just for salary matching purposes to get Bertans. But maybe you could finagle. You could do like Zaire Smith and Jonah Bolden instead. And, that Zaire Smith is... I don't think the Sixers are sellers by any means. I think they're going to be buyers at the trade deadline. But, like, if they're really going in on this all-in window, Zaire Smith has given them nothing this year. I don't necessarily think it's the right move to just deplete all of your young talent. But that's the guy who, if they do get involved on a Bertans or a Bogdanovic, something like that, I think that's the chip they end up dangling.
Right. There's also this thing with the Wizards. They could also go in a completely different direction. Right now we're talking about them accumulating young assets and developing or just basically creating a pretty significant pool of young players. Mm-hmm. There's also another option here, and that is basically relinquishing young guys to get off of John Wall's contract. I don't necessarily think they should, but considering you don't know what kind of state John Wall's going to be in when he returns,
right?
Maybe if you get an offer of someone who's willing to just absorb his entire deal,
Yeah.
and give you an immediate expiring, or enough expirings to make this happen.
Right.
But their demands are like, I don't know, Troy Brown, Admiral Schofield, Maurice Wagner, whatever, or in a future first, or what, something like really where the trading team says, we'll take John Wall's contract off your hands, but we damn sure want to get paid for it.
Right. Right.
Do you do it?